Look, I'm not the type to air my family's dirty laundry on the internet, but you need to hear this, because what happened to me, it's the kind of betrayal that makes you question everything you thought you knew about the people you love. My name's Catherine, Cat to my friends, and 3 years ago, I lost my husband, Michael. Cancer. 49 years old. We had 18 beautiful years together before that disease ripped him away from me. And when I say I was devastated, that doesn't even scratch the surface. But this story isn't about grief. Well, not just about grief. It's about his Rolex. Michael wasn't a flashy guy. He drove a Toyota, wore jeans on weekends, and thought Olive Garden was fancy dining. But that watch? A 1972 Rolex Submariner his grandfather gave him when he graduated college? That was his pride and joy. He wore it every single day for 27 years. Every single day. When he died, I couldn't bring myself to sell it or put it away, so I kept it in our bedroom, in the wooden watch box his grandfather had given him along with the Rolex. Sometimes when the grief hit hard at 2 a.m., I'd hold that watch and just feel close to him, you know? Now, here's where it gets complicated. Michael had a daughter from his first marriage, Vanessa. She was 14 when we got married, and let me tell you, the whole wicked stepmother thing, yeah, she had that narrative down pat. I tried. God, I tried so hard, but she made it clear from day one that I was the enemy. After Michael died, Vanessa and I maintained this weird, strained relationship. She'd come by the house once a month, we'd have awkward coffee, make small talk, she'd ask if I needed anything, I'd say no, she'd leave, rinse and repeat. Then, 6 months ago, she started coming around more, being friendlier. She'd bring her fiancé, Derek, nice enough guy, worked in finance, talked about crypto a lot. They'd stay for dinner, we'd laugh. I actually started thinking, you know what? Maybe we're finally healing. Maybe she's finally accepting me. God, I was so stupid. So it's a Tuesday afternoon, right? I'm working from home, answering emails in my pajamas like a proper remote worker, when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something tells me to pick up. Hello? Hi, is this Catherine Walsh? Speaking. Mrs. Walsh, my name's Tony DeLuca. I own DeLuca's Pawn and Estate Jewelry on 5th Street. I have something here I think you need to know about. My stomach drops. I don't know why, but I just get this feeling. Okay. Someone brought in a 1972 Rolex Submariner yesterday. Beautiful piece. When I was cataloging it, I found an engraving inside the case back. To Michael, reach for the stars. Grandpa Joe, 1972. Now that name rang a bell because I sold your husband a ring about 20 years ago for your engagement, if I remember right. I can't breathe. That watch was in my bedroom. I figured this didn't smell right. The young lady who brought it in said it was her father's and she had the right to sell it. But something about her story was off. She was nervous, kept looking at the door, had a guy with her who did all the talking. Describe her. Late 20s, blonde hair, about 5'6". The guy was tall, slicked back hair, wearing a suit that cost more than my car. Vanessa and Derek. When? My voice sounds like it's coming from underwater. Yesterday, around 3 p.m. Look, I haven't processed the sale yet. I told them I needed to verify the paperwork. I don't feel right about this, Mrs. Walsh. That watch is worth about 15 grand, and I got the feeling she didn't know that. She seemed happy with the 5,000 I offered. 5,000 for Michael's most precious possession? The one thing I had left that he touched every single day? Mr. DeLuca, can you hold on to it, please? I need to figure out what's going on. Already planned on it. And Mrs. Walsh, I'm sorry about your husband. He was a good man. I sit there for maybe 10 minutes, just staring at the wall. Then I get up, walk into the bedroom, and open the watch box. Empty. The fury that hits me is unlike anything I've felt since Michael died. Because this isn't just about a watch. It's about the fact that she came into my home, smiled at me, ate my food, pretended to care, all while planning to rob me blind. I grab my phone and pull up Vanessa's Instagram because of course she posts everything on Instagram, And there it is, posted just 2 hours ago. A picture of her and Derek at the airport, champagne glasses raised, caption reading, "Bora Bora, here we come. Thanks to everyone who contributed to our honeymoon fund. #blessed, #island life." Honeymoon fund. Right. But wait, honeymoon? As in, they already got married? I scroll back through her feed. 3 days ago, small, intimate ceremony with our closest loved ones. Wouldn't have it any other way. She got married and didn't tell me, didn't invite me, after months of coming to my house, acting like we were family. The betrayal hits me in waves. The watch, the wedding, the lies. I'm done being nice. I show up at Vanessa's apartment at 8 a.m. the next morning. I know they're home because their flight doesn't leave until noon. I buzz their apartment. "Hello?" Derek's voice, groggy. "It's Catherine. We need to talk. Now." Silence. Then, "Cat, we're actually really busy. Open the door or I call the police. Your choice." The door buzzes open. When I get to their apartment, Vanessa's in the doorway wearing a silk robe, face pale. She knows. She absolutely knows why I'm here. "Cat, I can explain. You stole from me." My voice is eerily calm. "You came into my home, into my bedroom, and you stole the one thing I had left of Michael, to fund a vacation." Derek steps forward. "Now, hold on, that watch legally belonged to Vanessa. It was her father's. Her father left it to me, in his will, which you'd know if you'd bothered to read it instead of just assuming you could take whatever you wanted." Vanessa's crying now. "I didn't think you'd notice. You never wear it, you just keep it in that box." "You didn't think I'd notice? Are you kidding me right now?" "We needed the money," she shouted. "We're drowning in debt from the wedding, and Derek's investment thing fell through, and I just thought my dad would have wanted me to have it anyway. He was my father. And he was my husband, and he chose to leave that watch to me, not because he didn't love you, but because he knew how much it meant to me. And you knew that too. That's why you lied. That's why you snuck around." Derek steps forward. "Look, we'll pay you back." "With what money? You just said you're broke. And by the way, congratulations on the wedding I wasn't invited to. That's a whole other betrayal we need to discuss." Vanessa collapses onto their couch, sobbing. "I didn't invite you because I knew you'd judge Derek. You'd judge us for spending money we didn't have. You'd make me feel guilty about being happy." And there it is, the real issue. I sit down across from her, take a deep breath. "Vanessa, do you remember when your dad got sick? Really sick, those last few weeks?" She nods, wiping her eyes. "He made me promise something. He said, 'Cat, I know Vanessa struggles with me remarrying you, but she's scared. She's scared that loving you means betraying her mom, and she's scared that I loved you more than I loved her.' And I told him that was ridiculous, but he said, 'Promise me you'll keep trying. Promise me you won't give up on her.'" Vanessa's really crying now. So am I. "I have tried, kiddo. For 3 years I have tried, and you've pushed me away at every turn. You've made me the villain in your story because it's easier than admitting you're angry at your dad for dying, for leaving you, for loving someone else." "He did love you more," she whispers. "No, he didn't. He loved you differently. You were his child, his baby girl, but he was allowed to love me too, and I was allowed to grieve him too. And that watch, he left it to me because he knew I'd treasure it, not because he didn't treasure you." Derek's standing awkwardly by the kitchen, clearly wanting to be anywhere else. "I didn't know it was in his will," Vanessa says quietly. "I swear, I saw it, and I thought, I don't know what I thought." "You thought you could erase me, take back what you felt I stole from you." She doesn't deny it. I stand up. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to go to that pawn shop, and you're going to pay whatever it takes to get that watch back. I don't care if you have to sell your car or cancel your honeymoon. That watch comes home." "Ket, I'm not finished. After that, you and I are going to therapy, together, because I made a promise to your father, and I don't break my promises. But I'm done pretending everything's fine when it's not. I'm done walking on eggshells around you. She looks at Derek, who shrugs helplessly. And one more thing, I say. That watch, when I die, it's going to you. It was always going to go to you. Michael wanted you to have it eventually, but he wanted you to earn it, to grow up first, to understand what it meant. Vanessa breaks down completely. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I move to the door, then pause. I'm sorry too. Sorry I didn't fight harder to break through that wall you built. Sorry I let you push me away. But that ends now. You're stuck with me, kid, whether you like it or not. 3 months later, I'm sitting in my living room when Vanessa shows up unannounced. She's holding a box. What's this? Open it. Inside is a framed photo of Michael, me, and Vanessa at her high school graduation. We look happy, like a real family. I forgot this picture existed. I found it in my storage unit, she says. I've been going through old stuff in therapy, working on things. Dr. Morrison says I've been punishing you for 3 years because I couldn't punish Dad for dying. Dr. Morrison's a smart lady. She sits down next to me. I canceled Bora Bora, used the refund to pay back the pawn shop, and to pay for therapy.
Good. The watch is in my car. Do you want to come see it? I had it cleaned and serviced. The guy said it's in perfect condition. We walk outside together. She hands me the familiar wooden box. I open it. There's Michael's Rolex, gleaming in the afternoon sun. But there's something else. A small envelope. What's this? Open it. Inside is a note in Vanessa's handwriting. Dad, I'm sorry it took me so long to understand. Love, Vanessa. P.S. Kat, thank you for not giving up. I think Dad knew you wouldn't. We stand there in my driveway, 2 broken women trying to put the pieces back together. It's not perfect. It's not a fairy tale ending, but it's real. You hungry? I ask. Starving. Good, because I make a mean lasagna and we've got a lot of catching up to do. She smiles, really smiles, for the first time in 3 years. Dad always said your lasagna was better than Olive Garden. Damn right it was. Closing. So that's my story. The watch sits in its box in my bedroom, right where it belongs. Vanessa comes over every Sunday for dinner now. We're working through 18 years of resentment and pain, 1 therapy session at a time. Is it messy? Absolutely. Are we healed? Not even close. But we're trying. And sometimes that's all you can ask for. Because at the end of the day, that's what Michael would have wanted. Not perfection. Just effort, love, family. And maybe that's what the watch was always supposed to teach us.